If you're doing a trailer build, stop everything you're doing and watch this. Guys, welcome to part 7 of our trailer build series. I am super excited about today's episode because today I'm going to teach you how to plumb your buffer tank. And I know a lot of you guys are following along with this series as you build your own rig. But what I am truly excited about is in the next couple of episodes, as we wrap up this series, we're actually going to take this guy out into the field and you guys are going to get to see me do around $1,000 to $1,500 in a single day with this same exact rig that you guys are watching me build. And remember, guys, I've already said this, that episode 90, when I take this thing out into the field, is going to be a members only episode. So make sure, if you have not done this already, make sure you hit that join button so you're able to follow along. And then also, guys, as a VIP member of the Mr. Bubbles channel, you're going to be able to have full access to all of our videos. Currently, we have like 12, 13 videos on the channel that are for members only. So let's go ahead and get started and flip this thing around. Okay, guys, before we jump in and plumb this buffer tank, I just wanted to show you a couple of the small changes that I made off camera. As you know, I was talking to you guys about this. I'm trying to do some things off camera in order to keep the videos, their length down a little bit for you guys. So I wanted to show you this because I created a footer here so the tank doesn't slide. But this, I haven't bolted it down or screwed it down yet because remember, we got to get in here and do all the plumbing. We're going to put our dump line and everything down there. So we're going to need the space to move around. You guys saw how I did the board here and how I made this so it doesn't move. We put our bucket back in there. I also put the lids. I cleaned out the tanks because there was some leaves in them. And I put the lids on them so, you know, during this build, they don't get dirty again. But you guys see here how sturdy these straps are. These straps are, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, they are in the description below. I think their hold capacity is something like 4,000 pounds. So highly recommend. They're super heavy duty. This tank is not going to go anywhere. And also, I don't think I've mentioned this. I haven't mentioned this during the rig build series, but when you're installing your buffer tank, guys, if you notice, my buffer tank is right in the middle of my wheel well of my axle. You see that? Because that's where you want the majority of the weight to be, right there. You don't want it here, you don't want it in the front. You want it where it can support the maximum amount of weight. So that's a great example there for you guys. And you guys have, I've been looking at the comment section and you guys do want me to paint that. So I'm going to paint that at some point here for you guys. Of course, our marketing board, we did that on in part 2 of our series. The other thing I wanted to show you is, see this footer? It does have screws on it. So the footer is on there, guys, so your tank does not slide from side to side. And then I wanted to show you guys this right here. Of course, you saw me how I did the other crate. I have not bolted this one down yet because I'm going to have access to that right there in order to finish the build. But I have put a footer here, if you've noticed. And the reason for that being is, see the gap here, guys, where my finger is? That's where our surface cleaner is going to go. And I didn't want this thing sliding and pinning the surface cleaner to the wood there. So now the tanks are set. They're not going to go absolutely nowhere. And of course, you guys already saw this from part 2 as well when we did our little gun holster there. And then the plumbing here, so you can see it, up close and personal here. The plumbing is all finished here with our reels. Guys, this fitting right here, like I said before, it's going to be in the description below for you guys. Highly recommend this for your Flexilla hose. You have a shutter valve right there. And this is real easy to put in and take off on the spigot there. But anyway, there you have it. I just wanted to show you, like I said, guys, I'm trying my best to do some of the minor stuff, off camera for you guys in order to save a little bit of time. But yeah, I'm trying my best also to give you guys the best angles possible with filming this thing, so you know, and I know you because you guys, a lot of you guys are following along because you're doing the same exact build, but you see it there, you know, as we start to put everything together. So anyway, let me switch over to the tripod because I'm going to show you guys all the tools that we need in order to get this done for plumbing of the top of our tank there. So I'll catch you guys on the other side. Okay guys, real quickly, I want to go over with you all of the different parts and the tools that you're going to need in order to get this done. We're going to start off with our flow valve here. This is how we're going to actually get the water into our tank, okay? So this is, if you guys have never seen this before, this is actually what we're trying to install on this tank. This is called a Hudson flow valve. Now this has 3 different parts. The bottom, this is what's going to go inside the tank. Now this right here, again, is called a Hudson flow valve. And what this thing does, guys, is it acts like that valve inside your toilet bowl. So when the water reaches this level right here, there's a little piece that floats up and it shuts off the water. And the reason why you want to install that on your rig is very obvious, right? You don't want the tank overflowing. So let's say you're doing Mrs. Smith's house and you're in the back and the tank overflows and there's water going everywhere. Looks kind of unprofessional and it's a lot of wasting water, right? So what this will do for you inside that big buffer tank, once it gets to about 90%, like 95% full, this will just turn the water off for me so I don't have to worry about that. So again, this comes in 3 parts. This is your Hudson flow valve, and then that's attached to a bulkhead. This is what, it's a term used a lot, it's a bulkhead. This bulkhead fitting is how you get water inside or outside of a tank, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to drill that, okay? And then the top of that bulkhead is this elbow right here. You see the 3/4 banjo fitting elbow. So this goes like this, okay? This is gonna go through your tank. This goes like that, and this is gonna go inside your tank. So it's gonna look exactly like this. And then the braided tubing that you guys saw me stretch out here when we were putting our hose reels together is going to get connected right there. So if you can guys visualize, this right here is going to be at the top of our buffer tank, and it's going to be connected to our 𝐁𝐔𝐒𝐈𝐍 hose reels. So there you go. Those are the parts right there. Again, you have an elbow, 3/4 elbow, a bulkhead, and you have your Hudson flow valve. And again, guys, you don't have to worry. I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to install you. I'm just actually showing you what the different parts are. And here in all these fittings, I want to put some Teflon tape. You know, I'm going to do that off camera. I showed you guys how to put Teflon tape. But when I actually install this, we're going to do it with the GoPro. So you guys are going to get to see my POV, my point of view, okay? So the other thing is, that's for our water, right? That's for our 𝐒𝐿𝐍 hose reel. That's how we're going to get water into the tank. Now, I'm going to explain to you guys what this is. This right here, okay, this is the top right here. I got a little piece of hose because this is a fitting that I was using before. So this also has 3 parts, 2 elbows, okay? As you can see here, the 2 elbows, top elbow and a bottom elbow, okay? Connected to our bulkhead. Now, this right here is going to go on the right side of our tank, right next to our pressure washer. And what this is for is for our bypass line. Now, what is a bypass line? I'm going to explain this to you guys because this is very important. This is something that, man, I want to say I didn't learn this until like year 3 when I started to get professional, you know, commercial grade equipment. So what happens is, all of the equipment that we have has a water pump, and these water pumps, they need water to constantly run through them because they have plastic parts inside of them. And so what happens is, when you're off your trigger, now, when would this happen? Like, let's say, I'm going to give you guys an example. Let's say you're washing a house, and then the neighbor comes out and is like, oh, wow, it looks amazing. Oh, can you give me a price? And then you get overwhelmed, you get happy, and then you leave your gun. Remember, your machine's still on, and then you go walk the neighbor's property. Well, in that 2, 3, 4 minutes that you're walking the neighbor's property and your machine's still on, there's no water circulating through your pump. And what's going to happen is it's going to create friction. Your pump's going to get hot, and the plastic pieces that are inside your pump heads they're all going to melt. And what's going to happen is you're going to come back, you're going to squeeze your trigger, and you're going to get just a tiny little squirt of water because you will have fried your pump, or what we call burnt your pump. That's what burning your pump means. Okay, in order to avoid this, what professionals do is on your unloader valve, and again guys, I'm going to show you this when we do all the plumbing so you don't have to worry, but on your unloader valve you connect a barb, and then you run a line from your unloader valve all the way to your tank, and that's what this is. That's why this is like this. So this, the top of my bulkhead here, you can see here, this is where that line, right, that excuse me guys, the line for my my bypass line is going to go right here. So this right here is going to be the top of the right of my buffer tank. This is a line that's going to run all the way down to my machine. It's going to run to my downstream, not my downstream injector, my unloader. So that, so what essentially what that does, guys, is it creates a water loop. So just think of like a loop, okay? So when you're off your trigger, what happens is the water now, because your pump's still running, it shoots water through the opening that you created with that barb, and then it shoots water down this line and into your tank, and then it circulates. It goes from your tank to your machine back into your tank. You're creating a water loop, so that avoids that friction from happening, and it avoids you burning your pump. And believe it or not, guys, I did this probably 4 or 5 times when I first started. I did not know about this, and I was burning pumps, and I did not know why. So, you know, this is how I learned this. You know, everything in this business, guys, you learn by doing it the wrong way first. And luckily, you guys have me to teach you these things, because if you did not know this, like let's say you bought a $4,000 or $5,000 machine and you set it up, and you're following my blueprint here, and you don't do this part, what's going to happen is you're going to burn your pump. And a pump, it costs thousands of dollars to replace a pump. That's a very, very expensive lesson. You see what I mean? And the reason why, okay, so you imagine we're going to cut a hole, and I'm going to show you in a second here the tools we need for that. We're going to cut a hole, go through our tank. We're going to install this, and this is going to be our bypass line. You're only going to see this. But inside of the tank, we actually have to put this right here. And the reason for that being is, if you guys got to visualize this with me for a second. So you got pressure water coming from your pressure washer in this line into your water tank. So what happens is, if you shoot straight down here, okay, and you guys that are listening to me and you're an old head, you already know what I'm about to say. If you shoot this water straight into the tank, you're going to create air bubbles inside of your tank. And what's going to happen is that air is going to be injected into your line, and your line is going to sputter. You're going to squeeze your trigger, and you're going to be like, because of all the air pockets that are within your line. In order to avoid this, again, this shooting straight into your water, you put an elbow. Now all of that pressurized water comes through your elbow and hits your tank, and then the air just floats away from the water. You see, that's a very professional thing, because if you do not do this part, again, if you only do this without this elbow, you're going to run into a problem out in the field where you're not getting all of the pressure that you need. But again, guys, don't worry. I'm going to show you step by step how to install this. Now, let's go over the tools here that we need. Of course, you're going to need Teflon tape. You guys already know that. But again, I'm just going to do that off camera, because I already showed you guys plenty how I do my Teflon tape. But your trusty drill, okay? You're going to need your DeWalt drill. And you see this fitting here on top, guys? You see how rusted out it is? That's how old and how long I've had this, and I've used this thing. All the color has worn off of it and all that. But I'm going to show you. I actually bought this at Lowe's. And you can see here, this is the little kit it came in. So it has different sizes, and I use them all the time when I'm fixing equipment or building new rigs. Like, this is very important for you to have this the set of them, right? Because you need the different sizes. And we're going to use this again when we create our base for our machine. But this is essentially how you're going to drill a hole into your tank. And your hole, by the way, guys, it has to be, let me take this apart in a second here. So your hole the hole that you're going to drill in your tank has to be the exact size of this fitting here, right? Of your bulkhead. You see that? So what I would suggest you guys do, and I'm going to show you this here in a second, is the very first time you do this, don't do this on your tank, because most likely you're going to goof this up. You're going to make, and I did it. That's why I'm telling you, I made the hole like this big. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I didn't know what I was doing, right? So what you want to do is you want to have something like this, maybe some other hard plastic or whatever you can find where, you know what I mean, something that you can just chuck in the trash. And you want to drill on that first. So I'm going to drill on this for you guys so you guys can see it. And then we're going to put the bulkhead through here so I can show you exactly what that looks like. So you see that right there on camera? And then you just want to drill down on it like that. Just like that. See that, guys? Drill a hole. Okay. So you imagine if that's your tank, right? Okay. Then we're going to put our bulkhead through like that. See that? Perfect fit. With essentially, I mean, like a centimeter of a gap right there. I mean, there's hardly any gap at all. You guys see that? You see how that looks in the bottom right there? Okay. That's going to be the inside of your tank. So that's a great tip for you guys, because trust me guys, you do not want to mess up drilling in your tank and then you drill the wrong hole in your tank. You don't want that. So practice on something else. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to switch to my GoPro because, again, guys, I want you to see exactly what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it so you can follow my blueprint to a T and build yourself the same exact rig, because it's going to make you tons of money. So let me go ahead and switch cameras and I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, guys, here we are. I want to get up close and personal here with you guys to show you exactly how we're going to get this guy done. So this is one of the most intricate parts of doing a trailer build, so you don't want to make any mistakes here. And I wanted to show you this too. You guys want to make sure that when you put these parts together, you're not using like hand tools, you know, metal tools, and put too much pressure. You know, you don't want to put a wrench here because you're going to crack this housing, right? So all of these, I tightened them as far as I could by hand. You see that? Just by hand. And I put a little bit of Teflon tape down here, and that's it. And then what I want to do is, as far as location wise, you don't want it to be too close to the edge, because you don't want to cut here into this edge. So I would do about 4 or 5 inches away from the edge, like right there where I have it is perfect. And then the other one, where's the other one? So this other one here, that's already the bottom right there. This is going to be the top. The other one we're going to want right here. But let's do the water one first, and then we'll knock this out and then move on to the next one. So if you guys look on here too, there's like a rubber gasket. You see that? So that rubber gasket, oh man, it's kind of hard to take it off, but I know you guys can see it right there. It's like a thick rubber gasket. You want that to be in the inside of the tank. So that's going in the bottom. So this is going to go through our hole, and we'll put that there to kind of measure out exactly where we want our hole to be. And where's our drill? So here's our trusty drill with our drill bit here to be able to make a hole. So let's go ahead and do this thing. Let's move our top here. Move our top. Oh, okay, so here we go. Actually, let's move these hoses out of the way. So you see, I was telling you guys why I didn't plumb this yet. Like, I wouldn't want to be stepping on top of all of this stuff here, and everything's clear for me to do all this plumbing part. So again, like, this is perfect right here. I want it to be sort of central. So you see how the spacing is like halfway between the end and my strap. So that's pretty good. So I want to be right there. That's perfect right there. So let's go ahead and drill. Just you want to be gentle with it and just drill down. Just like that. You want to try to not getting any shavings in there, even though we still have a little bit of leaves in there, but we're going to clean this up really good anyway. So there you have it, guys. That's how we drilled our first hole for our bulkhead here, for our bulkhead for our what's it called, our float valve. So here's the top. It's going to go like that, right? And here's the other, the part that you screw on there. You see that? Just like that. Just like that. So it's, you got to go counter. Is that right? Counterclockwise. Yeah. All right. So let's get this on here. Move some of this, more of these shavings away for us. We'll put this here at the end. Actually, let me put this here aside. That way I'm not dumping it into our tank. Let's put these fittings here so they don't, nothing falls off. Okay, so again, guys, the rubber gasket is going to go on the inside of the tank. This is going to take a little bit of doing here on my part. Hopefully you guys can see that real good. And then I'm just going to screw that in there, just like so. One second, guys. Didn't go in right on the first try. So you guys see that right there? You see it from my point of view. Hopefully you guys can see it really good there. Just like that, I'm going to screw that on there. And again, you want to use hand power on this one. Guys, that's pretty tight. That's very tight. That's not going anywhere. And again, I just want to make it as tight as I possibly can, because that rubber gasket will close the gap there, and so nothing can get in. Yep, that's as tight as I can get it right there with my hands. So then I'm going to take this, again, this is a 3/4 elbow, okay? You guys got to remember, see the braided tubing there? That's where it's going to go. The braided tubing is going to go here, and it's going to go right here to the fitting we created there for the water. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to screw this to the top just like that. Again, I'm not using any you know, wrench or anything like that. I'm just literally doing it with my hand, and I'm going as far as I can, and that's pretty much as far as I can right there. So just like that, guys, our water is 100% done. Let's look at it from this angle right here. I don't know if you guys can see the flow valve in there, but I'm going to try to stick my camera in there. Not now, but once we get the water flowing and everything's working, I'm going to stick my camera in there so you can see what's happening with that, with how the water goes down the float valve there. Okay, so you guys saw that 100% done. The Hudson flow valves in there. We got our basically we created a water inlet, right? Because you guys got to remember, for you guys that are new, you know, this is our Flexzilla hose here, right? So you saw this fitting that I put on here. This is going to connect to the house. Then you're going to turn the spigot on. The water is going to come flowing through your Flexzilla. It's going to come through your reel. It's going to come through your braided tubing that we're going to put through here, all the way to that fitting, to that hose bar fitting right there. It's going to go through our flow valve, and it's going to fill our buffer tank. Okay, that's how we're going to get water to our machine. So let's move on here, so we're not wasting too much time. Oh, let me show you guys this. Now, you guys see how there's a plastic piece in there? So in order to do that, you just take your drill bit off, just like that. Okay, yeah, hopefully I can do this with gloves. So you see that? You just twist it out like this, okay, and then you push that through, just like that. Super simple. And then you just take that out, just like that. See that? And then you put that through again. You put that through your bit, your drill bit, just like that. It fits right through. And then you put this bolt or washer, not bolt, you put this washer through, and just like that. I am ready for the next round, just like that. Put that in there, tighten it, bam, ready to go, ready to go. All right, so next, again, guys, I'm going to show you this up close so you see it. You see it right there, the gap, this gasket, not gap, gasket. It's rubber. So as you tighten that thing, this thing makes it so the gap there, it closes that gap, and it makes it super watertight. So make sure that's on there. And again, that's going in the bottom. And then this, so you guys can visualize, this right here is going to be pointing towards the tank. So again, the water hits that tank, and then all that water, all of that air that's trapped in the water just dissipates, right? All right, so let's measure this out. Again, same dealio. We want it like right here, right? So kind of try to make it even with the other one. Oh, this fell. I'm glad it didn't fall in the tank. That would have been annoying. Okay, so try to make it as even as you can with that one. So about right there is perfect. So let's go ahead and drill this guy. Okay, trying my best here not to get the shavings in there. There you go. Now we're gonna put this same dealio here. I'm gonna do it with my left hand this time, and I am pointing. You guys can't see this from this angle, but I'm going to point this away from my opening down there, away from my water opening. Okay, so I don't want this to go anywhere near the water, so I'm going to point it towards away. So I want this elbow to be pointed that way, because you guys remember my plumbing is going to go down there. That's where it's going to feed my machine, so I want it away, right? So I'm going to put it just like that. You guys can see that. Kind of at a weird angle here, guys. Give me a second. And this thing's pressing up against my ribs. Hopefully you guys can see that really good there. Again, I'm gonna tighten this. That's as much as I can tighten with my hands. And there you have it. So that's your two bulkheads right there. They're installed. Remember, bulkheads is a part that you use in order to, when you want to get water into a tank or out of a tank, right? And this is our water line. That's our bypass line. Okay, this is where our bypass, and remember the bypass is going to go from here all the way down to our unloader valve down there. And again, don't worry, I'm going to show you guys that over the next couple episodes. So just like I did before, okay, I'm going to put that just like that, nice and easy, as far as I can with my hand. Okay, that's it right there. That's it, guys. And those are your two fittings right there, good to go. I won't be able to show you what's happening inside the tank. And like I said, that elbow down there is pointed. You want the elbow to point away from your water outlet. But like I said, once we actually turn the camera once we turn this whole thing on and we got water running in there, I will put a camera down there, maybe my phone, and try to record down there for you guys so you can see the water going into your tank. Let me step away here for a second so you guys can see it from afar. You guys can see exactly what we created here. So there you have it. The number one tip I want you to get from this, guys, is that you need a bypass line for your unloader valve, because again, you're going to fry your pump, especially as a new guy. You know, you don't want to make that mistake, because that can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. Remember, guys, everything that I know, I learned from doing it the wrong way first. And that's why I suggest you guys drill, right? You saw this, you drill into a board or something first, and you test it out to make sure, you know, you're doing everything properly. But there you have it. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate all the feedback that you guys have been giving me. You guys have been coming up with some great ideas. Somebody told me that in that little corner there, that we could you know, put like a strap or something for our what's it called, our blower. That's not an ideal place for the blower, because the blower is actually, that little blower is going to fit real nice inside your toolbox. Again, guys, highly recommend you get a toolbox for your trailer. It's going to help you out tremendously. And a blower is one of those things you definitely have to carry with you. But I absolutely love the feedback that you guys are giving me. Great ideas. You guys voted yes on painting the board there, so we're going to do that off camera. So that'll be something I'll show you for the next episode. And I really appreciate that you guys are following the series. You guys are sharing, making comments, asking questions. About 200-300 of you guys have emailed me and asked for the blueprint, and a couple of you guys actually bought the same exact trailer, and you're following and doing step by by step here, you know, following the series and building your rigs as well. So, and whether you bought this ink trailer or not, it does not matter, guys. You can still create a wand holster for your pressure washing wand. You're still going to, you know, create a bypass line for your unloader valve, right? Like all of these things that I'm showing you are universal. You're still going to need to create a base for your hose reels regardless of the size of your trailer. So the bottom line is the skills that you're learning here are universal. It's going to help you for years and years and years and make you lots and lots of money to be able to, you know, have financial freedom for yourself and for your family. Guys, highly recommend you watch the next episode, because in the next episode, we're actually, you guys saw today that we plumbed the top of the tanks, right? Well, in the next episode, I'm going to show you how to plumb the bottom of the tank. And what's important about that is I'm going to show you how you connect to your filter. And also I'm going to show you guys how to create a dump valve. So essentially right here, in the end here, we're going to have like a little spigot where we'll be able to, you know, have water, access to water, to be able to fill a bucket, or, we don't want to drive around with a bunch of water in our tank. We can just dump the water through that valve. So highly recommend you guys watch that. Again, guys, I absolutely and truly love hearing from you guys and interacting with you guys. I will send you my my blueprint for marketing blueprint for new guys. I will send you the trailer build blueprint, the exact blueprint that we're doing here. And yeah, I got no problem sending you guys that. I absolutely answer all of my emails. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.